As we wind down Toylanta 2024, I just really wanted to take a moment and think and reflect on what the show has been for me in my life. And this year was a whirlwind. It, to me, feels like I was just picking Jeremy up from the airport in last week's video. And here we are Monday morning as I'm filming this, and I got to get ready to start work this morning and completely detach from what I was just in for the last several days. But I really wanted to think about how my life has evolved over the years I've been going to this show. My first Toylanta that I covered for the channel and went to with any significant passion was 2018. And I have covered the show every year since. So 2018 is the very first day I met David ever. It was at Toylanta 2018. And that show was primarily David and Adonis and I having fun. Adonis was vending, and we encountered funny stuff in the room swaps and had a great time. Made a lot of core memories. I will never forget David and I going to Waffle House that first night, very late, and just learning about each other, getting to know each other, and that's a friendship that will last forever. And that was at the Marriott, right inside the perimeter at 85. And 2019, it was at the same place, and that was the year that Karina had bought Josh a trip to Toylanta for Christmas. And so he came and visited. And it's also the year that OG Geek Mike was there, but was too shy to come up and say anything to us. And so we actually didn't meet him until later, but he was at that show. And there was a lot of fun that year, 2019. I think that may have been the year of the Pence Pack Toylanta Choo Choo Train with Steve. I believe was that same year. That was also the notorious origin story of one of our friends that you see in the channel, at some of these shows. And it's the year that Josh and I, especially Josh, were really heavy into Mythic Legions for the first true time. Roma Collectibles bringing Mythic Legions to the bar for Josh to have a private shopping experience. I was buying also Vitruvian hacks. I maybe at that point was already buying Sparrow toys, 1/18th scale. I don't remember if I think it is that year. And then we get interrupted. 2020 occurs, and Toylanta is like the first event in my personal life that gets impacted by COVID. We don't have Toylanta, and none of us see each other for a very long time, and it was sad. And then 2021, we get back together, and that is Castle Dub, where we get the Airbnb castle. At this point, Toylanta has now moved to a new location over in Marietta, which is quite a long way away for me, but not I should complain because people are coming from all over the country to come to it. And we have a lot of fun, and that's the first time that the larger contingent from Florida starts to come with Seth and Jan and Mike and maybe Humpty. I think Humpty was there. I don't remember if Humpty came to the castle year, but definitely Seth was there. And that's the castle year, which was a great year. And then 2022, it moves. No, it's still over there in Marietta. And that's the year that Walter is there, and it's the first time I meet Walter from the Mythic Legions Cabal, and I meet Nick Dubes and Nikki Nicole and Eric Miller and Chucky and all the Mythic Legions customizers are there. And it helps re-energize my love for Mythic Legions, even though, like I said, we had been buying them for several years before that. But we get re-energized. And Josh was at the Castle that year, I remember. And this is when we start to have more and more folks and people start getting into the Mythic Legions community, and it's growing. And that was a fun year where I think most of us actually stayed up at the hotel itself that year. And then 2023, last year, is the first year that Four Horsemen Studios comes themselves. And it starts to feel like the show is elevating as we have toy vendors selling their product directly at the show. And in 2023, it was a different show for me, because even though 22, 21, Allie and Kai are both in my life at that point, in 2023, it is very different because Kai is now old enough to have events. And she had a school play the same weekend as Toylanta. And so I did not spend nearly as much time as I normally would, because I wanted to be present at her events. And I always would be present at her events. And so I was coming and going and coming and going. But again, we had a large contingent up from Florida. I think it's actually 22 is when I host the first event at my house to kick things off. And that's when Ron, Century the Mad Collector, starts coming, and Kit Pool starts coming, and, for the longer weekend, and it just grows and grows. And then this year, 24, not only are the Four Horsemen back, I get to moderate a panel with them. I get to have them over to the house to have some fellowship time, and we're starting to have just people from all over. As I think about this year's Toylanta, we had people from Florida, we had people from South Carolina and North Carolina and Alabama and Tennessee, but then New York and Ohio and all over, I'm sure. I'm just thinking about the people that were just walking around with us more often than not, or it came to my home. I mean, just from all over. Rhode Island, New Jersey. I mean, it is remarkable the amount of hours and time and resources that people expend to come to this show. And I don't want to call a lot of people out by name because I will forget people. But as I've been talking and reminiscing about this wonderful show, hopefully I've put together a bunch of pictures, a lot of pictures of just memories over the years and memories from this year, because I thought that was the proper way to end it. And I certainly got a lot of cool stuff, and I'm going to put some pictures of the cool stuff I've got as well, of all the cool things that I picked up this year at Toylanta, and picking up the Turtle Lair and the Eternia playset, and the Castle Grayskull. I mean, those are huge, awesome purchases. And I do want to thank Brett for the Eternia playset giving me a good deal, and Ryan at Toy Federation giving me a good deal on the Sewer Lair, and David helping me arrange a good deal on the Castle Grayskull. It's even more meaningful to get it for people I know. But then also getting customs from McUltra, Andy Spink's McUltra Customs, that I always love to do at the show. Getting customs from Nick Dubes, that has become a tradition for me when I'm at this show. And picking up new Animal Warriors of the Kingdom stuff. And getting prizes from friends, and having other stuff, cool stuff arrive while I was gone. I mean, there was a lot of stuff. And that stuff's great, but that's not why this show matters. And I want to end this year's Toylanta coverage because next year is the 25th anniversary of Toylanta. Next year, I think it's going to be bigger and better than ever. And who knows what my role will be. Will I be covering or hosting or moderating or just hanging out or not filming at all? I don't know. That's why I thought I went and looked and saw when's the first time I covered it for the channel, because it feels like I've been doing it a long time. And so many of my contemporaries, I guess is the right word, of YouTube, people that have been filming in the same kind of general time as I have stopped, or do it a lot less, or take breaks. And I've been going every week since that Toylanta 2018, probably. And, you know, this is not at all farewell to the channel or anything like that, but you just never know. You never know when life's gonna make it where I don't have time to do a video every week. But I work so hard and try so hard to do it because of all those memories, and because of hanging out with the people. And the people are what matter. And no matter what show you go to, if you can connect with the community, and if you're having trouble connecting with the community, come to Toylanta, and we have such a large group, you'll find somebody you can connect with, and you're welcome to hang out with us and have a good time. And we'd love to have you. And Toylanta is not my show. I am not the owner or the showrunner, or technically, I'm not even affiliated with it in any official capacity. They are gracious and allow me to cover it, and they give me a press pass, and they invite my family to come see the show. And I'm very, very grateful, beyond grateful, for that access all these years. But I don't have any fiduciary or financial gain or responsibility. I'm just a fan, like most people. But I really try my best to take the show seriously, to make it a place where people feel welcome and loved and enjoy their time in the South. You know, my parents raised me that when somebody comes in your space, that you need to show them love and make them feel welcome and make them feel included. And I try really hard to do that at this show, as people, again, their time and money and resources to come to a place like this and hang out with us. So as we wrap up Toylanta 2024, which for my channel is kind of like my WrestleMania or my Super Bowl, it's kind of the season finale. And then what happens after Toylanta starts new. And there's lots of cool stuff to look forward to this year, with MomoCon coming up, and Joe Fest coming up, and Dragon Con coming up, and Legions Con coming up, and anything else like that I may go to. But then also the little moments that just randomly happen when Steve comes to visit, or David and I go get up to no good, or whatever the case may be. Probably next week will be a video with very much smaller in scale, with the girls and I going to see Ghostbusters and going to see Godzilla. I know that's what we're doing this weekend. And my sister, Kimberly, and Mike, they moved into a new house, which I stopped by and spent a few hours at here in Toylanta. We'll get to see that and give you a tour of that, and that's exciting. And, you know, it's almost summer, and Kaya's 1 year closer to being in college, unbelievably. And, you know, time just moves fast. And I'll do my best to keep bringing you on this journey. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful whether one person watches, whether 5,000 people watch. I don't make these videos to fit the algorithm or to get the views and clicks and thumbs ups, and I very rarely ask you to do anything like that, and that will continue. Because I want you to watch it because you want to watch it, because you want to be part of the community, part of our family, and experience what it is like with life with Big Dub. And so as the season finale, the Toylanta episode ends, thank you all. Obviously, thanks to everybody that came and hung out and hugged and took pictures and laughed and smiled, but also thanks to all of you who watched from a distance on the videos we've put up, or the pictures we've put up, or the Instagram stories, or whatever's occurred. Thanks to all of you as well for sharing this journey with us and for helping us be a part of a community that's so much bigger than the toys or the food or the drinks or the panels or the whatever. The sense of belonging that provides. I thank all of you. And I hope you enjoyed the Toylanta coverage. Certainly check out all the people you saw filming many, many videos. Go watch all their videos. Many of them probably covered a lot better stuff than I did, especially the show, the booths, and the vendors. And come to Toylanta and let me know you're coming. in 2025. It's going to be a big one, and I think you'll want to be there. So, from myself, from my family, from those of us in Georgia, thank you. We'll talk to you next week. Squeeze it.